Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we're going to begin the memorial services of Mrs. Norma Brand. We welcome those of you who are online. Rabbi David Oler will be officiating, and I respectfully ask everyone to take a moment to be sure that your cell phones have been turned off.
Friends, we have gathered together, sharing our sorrow, to bid farewell to Norma Brand. We recall the blessings of her life. We are grateful for the precious memories which shall endure. What though the radiance which was once so bright be now forever taken from our sight? Though nothing can bring back the hour of splendor in the grass, of glory in the flower, we'll grieve not, rather find strength in what remains behind, in the primal sympathy which having been must ever be, in the soothing thoughts that spring out of human suffering, in the faith that looks through death, in the years that bring the philosophic mind. When despair for the world grows in me, and I wake in the night at the least sound, in fear of what my life may be, I go and lie down where the wood drake rests in his beauty on the water, and the great heron feeds. I come into the peace of wild things, who do not tax their lives with forethought of grief. I come into the presence of still water, and I feel above me the day-blind stars waiting with their light. For a time, I rest in the grace of the world and am free. We meet today to celebrate the life of Norma Brand, to express with love how much Norma Brand meant to us. We meet to support one another, to affirm life, to affirm that Norma Brand was important to us. We join together to express our love, to share our loss as we celebrate her life. The love of the human heart is the most real and the most beautiful of all the realities we know. It's the richest gift of our humanness. It's the love that joins us together as lovers, as husband and wife, as parent and child, and as friends and neighbors. Whatever the length of time may be, to have known something of this is to have experienced the supreme privilege of being human. The anguish of parting cannot destroy this most real of all realities. The love has been, the affection has existed, the ties have been woven. Life has been shared, the joys and the sorrows. This has been as real and strong as anything in life. The love that once was born can never die. It has become part of us, of our life, woven into the very texture of our being. Each of us would wish to leave some part of ourselves. Yes, every one of us, some memory, some influence for good. So here and now, we bear witness to the one we knew in life, Norma Brand, who now in death bequeaths a subtle part, precious and beloved, which will be with us in truth and in beauty, in dignity and courage and love to the end of our days. Mizmor David, Adonai mi yirgubi halecha mi yishkon bahar kadshecha, holech tamim ufoel tzedek, v'dover emet bilvavo, lo ragal al lishono, lo asa l'rehu ra'ah, v'cherpa lo nasa al krovo, nivzeh be'einav nimas, v'yet yireid Adonai yichabed, nishba lahara v'lo yamir, kaspo l'natan b'neshech, v'shochad al noki lo yakoch, osei eleh, Lo yimot liola. O Lord, who shall dwell in your sanctuary? Who shall abide upon your holy mountain? One who lives with integrity, does what is right, and speaks the truth in her heart, who has no slander upon her tongue, who does no wrong to others, who does not reproach her neighbor. Whoever does these things, shall stand firm forever. we join together in the recitation of the 23rd Psalm, which you will find on the second page of these brochures. Please join with me. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He guides me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest the table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. The separateness, the uniqueness of each human life is the basis of our grief. Look through the whole world, and there is no one like the one we have lost, Norma Brand. But she still lives on in our memories, and though no longer a visible part of our lives, she will always remain a member of this family and this community through the influences that she has had and the special part that she has played in your lives. Fear not death. We are all destined to die. We share death with all who ever lived, with all who ever will be. Death is better than life of pain and eternal rest and constant sickness. As a drop of water in the sea, as a grain of sand on the shore, are our few days in eternity. The good things in life last for limited days, but a good name endures forever. It was painful for Norma Brand's loved ones to see how she suffered over the last year or more. She survived COVID, but it impacted her seriously. And one thing led to another. We are grateful that she was aware and lucid till very recently. We are comforted to know that she died peacefully. She was married to Irv for over 25 years. And even after they were no longer together, they maintained a cordial relationship with each other. Together they had 2 children, Mark and Neil. Norma was always very supportive of her sons, and she was there for them in their childhood, and as they grew up into adulthood, she was always there for them, proud of them, and always devoted to them. When her daughters-in-law, Lisa and Kim, came into the family, she treated them each like daughters. Among the mourners are Mark and Lisa's children, Abby, Lexi, and Hannah. She was very proud of them, always loving, nurturing, and supportive to them, and always helpful to the family, giving a break to Mark and to Lisa from their responsibilities whenever she was able to. That was very important to her. And she always was there to support them in this way for as long as she was physically able. She was very close to her older sisters and to their families. And she left many friends and lost many friends, because when you get to be 88 years old, sometimes your friends predecease you. But she had these many friends because she was a very warm and caring person, and people could feel that when they came in contact with her. She was very active in B'nai B'rith bowling, in community theater, where she did some acting and also even some directing. And more recently, she was at Symphony Nursing Home, where she became close with many of the residents and with the employees as well. One thing about Norma, though, is she truly cherished her relationships. And she maintained and nurtured her relationships. To have as many good relationships as she did, one needs to put something into them, which she always did. Over the course of her life, she worked hard when she was younger as a bookkeeper. She was very adventurous. She traveled the world with friends and sometimes by herself. She was more adventurous, I have to tell you, than I am. She undertook skydiving, whitewater rafting, but she also liked more settled things, such as going to the opera and going to the theater with friends. She's a person who modeled for us how to make the best of all circumstances. And that is what we have to do today, following her loss. We have to adjust. We have to make the best of the circumstances as she modeled for us and as she would want us to do. Her Hebrew name was Nechama, and her son Mark researched and found her marriage certificate where her Hebrew name was found. Nechama is a very relevant word for us today. Nechama means comfort. And she would want us to be comforted today and in the months ahead. Part of that was that she requested that the quotation from the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, be read at her funeral. In her desire to comfort us, she planned this, and I share it with you now. There was a time for everything, a time for silence and a time for speech, a time to tear and a time to mend, a time to keep and a time to throw away, a time to seek and a time to lose, a time for mourning and a time for dancing, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to pull down and a time to build up, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to plant and a time to uproot, a time to be born and a time to pass away. She had a real sense of perspective and would want us to find comfort in a similar sense of perspective at this time. When evening twilight fades away, the stars, invisible by day, shine forth against the darkness of the night. So too at death of one whom we love, in the darkness of our sorrow, the light of her life shines forth clear and bright, warm, radiant, and steadfast, lighting our way, lifting our spirit and our courage, a memory, an influence, and a presence to be treasured to the end of time. Please stand. Il molei rachamim, shochei b'meromim, hamitzei menucha nechona, tachat kanfei hashechina, b'ma'alot kedoshim utehorim, kizor rakia mazirim, et nishmat nechama gisi bat Moshe Kohen, shelcha liolamo, began Eden tehem menuchata, ono barachamim, Hasireo beseter kenafech liolamim, utzror b'tzror chayim et nishmato, Adonai hu nachalato, v'tanuach b'shalom al mishkava, v'nomar Amen. O God, exalted on high, yet full of compassion, grant shalom, perfect peace, and your sheltering presence among the holy and pure, to the soul of Nechama Gisi bat Moshe HaKohen, Norma Brand, who has gone to her eternal home. Baal HaRachamim, Master of Mercy, we beseech you, remember all the worthy and righteous deeds that she performed among us in the land of the living. May her soul be bound up in the bond of life. The Lord being her portion, may she rest in peace. And let us say, Amen. In these brochures, we turn to the last page for the mourner's Kaddish. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabo v'olim odi v'roch hirutei v'yamlich malchutei v'chayei chon v'yomei chon v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael v'agolo v'zman koriv v'yimeru Amen. Yehei Shemei Rabo mivarach li'olam u'l'olmei olmayo Yitborach v'yishtabach v'yitpoar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudisha berichu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata ta'amiron b'yoma v'yimeru Amen. Yehei shalom rabo min shemaya v'chayim Oleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimeru Amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu yaseh shalom, Oleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimeru Amen. May the memory of Nechama Gisi bat Moshe HaKohen, Norma Brand, whom we loved in life and still love in death, continue to bless our thoughts and our actions. Norma still influences us through our memories of acts and goodness that she performed. May the special grace of her years reach out to touch our lives and give us hope. May we regard her life as a special link in the chain of vital existence. May we honor her always with the gift of remembrance, and may the beauty of her life abide among us as a loving inspiration. And let us all say, Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, everyone's invited to the Brand residence at 451 Castlewood Lane in Buffalo Grove. They'll be together today till 7, and it'll be outside. Memorial contributions to Clearbrook, that information is on our website. And for those of you who are joining us online, all that information is on our website. So this time I ask everyone to please rise and stand in place as we escort the family from the chapel. And then if you'd like to visit, you can visit in the lobby, or even, you know what, you can even all stay here. There are beautiful pictures, and if you just want to visit with the family, you can do that. Thank you.
Maybe I'll bump into you soon.